As Mahatma Gandhi once said, Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. Our planet is truly big with a surface area of 510.1 million square kilometers. To put it in perspective, you could fit at least 3.4 of all continents combined on the Earth's surface. However, despite its huge size, the Earth's resources are not infinite. Hello everyone, I am John Carlo Tria, a grade 11 STEM student from Apex Schools Das Marinas. As an Apex student for over 4 years, I've been taught to use accurate and reliable sources in my writing, and that's exactly what I've applied with this speech. With that being said, what will you learn from my speech? My speech will help you discover the different energy, water, and soil resources and how to conserve them, as well as proper waste management. We all rely on electricity to power homes, technology, and everyday lives. But where does it all come from? Well, it isn't made by magic, it comes from power plants. But what kind? Well, there are three main types of power plants: fossil fuel, geothermal, and hydroelectric power plants. Let's first talk about fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, which are made from dead plants and animals that lived millions of years ago. Despite their age, they still hold immense power and can be used to generate electricity by burning them to boil water in boilers, converting it to steam, creating pressure, which drives a steam turbine, which drives a generator to generate electricity. While these fuels help us generate electricity, they also have harmful effects on the environment, which include land degradation, water pollution, air pollution, global warming, and ocean acidification. Despite these problems, can you imagine? By simply conserving energy and using public transportation, you can help reduce the harmful impacts of fossil fuels. Most power plants rely on fossil fuels to generate electricity, and by using less energy, we can help reduce the amount of fossil fuels burned each day. Plus, by using public transportation instead of driving our personal cars, we can reduce the number of cars on the road, which in turn reduces air pollution. So not only are you doing your part to protect the environment, but you're also saving money on gas and reducing traffic congestion. It's a win-win situation. Another energy source is geothermal energy, a type of energy that comes from below the Earth's surface. By pumping water into the immense heat that lies beneath the Earth's surface, we can create steam that drives turbines and produces electricity. Think of it like having a giant never-ending battery right under our feet. However, during the operation of geothermal power plants, wastewater is created. These wastewater can become contaminated with various pollutants. Excuse me. Potentially harming the environment if not managed properly. But that's not all. In some cases, using geothermal energy can cause downward ground deformation, also known as subsidence, which is caused by a drop in pressure in the reservoir. With these problems in mind, we can use the saying, prevention is better than cure. Preventing these harmful effects needs careful planning and close monitoring. To minimize the risk of potential damage, it is crucial to plan the project carefully and consider the risks associated with the design of the power station early on. Additionally, close tracking and monitoring of the power plant is also necessary, especially with regard to the environmental impacts it has on the area. The last source of energy I will talk about is hydroelectric energy. Imagine the power of a rushing river or the force of a waterfall. That's the energy that hydroelectric power plants use. It is harnessed using dams or diversions. Dams control water flow in a reservoir, which can be released when more energy is needed. On the other hand, diversion facilities use canals to direct water towards generator-powered turbines. Hydroelectric energy is a great way to use the power of water, yet it comes with harmful effects. Dams can reduce fish population, leading to food shortages for people. Building dams can also change the land and induce flooding, displacing animals and harming their habitats. Moreover, organic materials break down while the river is dammed, releasing harmful greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane, which are harmful for the environment. These impacts can be lessened by taking three actions: removing dams, regulating the flow of water, and improving land use. Removing dams help fish move freely, while regulating the flow of water allows water to flow back into the river ecosystem. Additionally, by planning land use around river basins, we can prevent land change and lower greenhouse gas pollution. Speaking of water, the Philippines has a diverse range of water resources, including coastal bays, rivers, lakes, and groundwater. Unfortunately, these resources are under threat from the growing problem of plastic pollution. Shockingly, 28% of the world's waterways are now polluted by plastic waste, and the Philippines is no exception. Besides plastic, other sources include industries, marine dumping, sewage, oil spills and leaks, and agriculture. Conserving and protecting water resources is easy peasy. To conserve water, turn off taps while shaving, brushing teeth, or washing hands. Excuse me. To water plants, save and use water that would usually be wasted like pasta water, vegetable rinse, leftover drinking water, and rainwater. Moreover, protect water resources by using and disposing of chemical products properly and using pesticides and fertilizers responsibly. Enough of water resources, and let's move on to soil resources. The Philippines, primarily an agricultural country, utilizes soil resources as a water and nutrient source for plants, primarily used by rural Filipinos relying on the agricultural industry. Sadly, even small items like cigarette butts or food wrappers can have a significant impact on the environment. When we consider the larger scale, there are many other contributors to soil pollution, such as litter, waste, urbanization, mining, and unsustainable agricultural practices. We can see that soil is an important resource we have, and it's crucial that we take steps to preserve it. Sustainable farming practices such as using natural fertilizers and buying from local farmers can help maintain a healthy soil and reduce the use of harmful chemicals. Additionally, by reusing and recycling items, we can reduce land pollution. Speaking of reusing and recycling, did you know that every day people in your community produce a wide variety of waste? From the solid waste that includes food, paper, plastics, and construction waste to liquid waste that includes sewage, sludge, and runoff, and even gaseous waste that includes carbon dioxide emissions. Not only are these wastes a messy problem, but they're also serious problems that can harm the environment and all living beings. When waste is not handled properly, it can lead to multiple health problems, including cholera, food poisoning, and respiratory issues. Animals can also get sick and spread diseases if waste is not disposed of correctly. The result of poor waste management goes beyond just health hazards. It can also lead to water and soil pollution and release harmful gases into the atmosphere. Landfills in particular are a major contributor to climate change as they release methane gas, which is worse than CO2. Luckily, there are simple steps you can take to make a big impact. Start by purchasing products with less packaging and recyclable materials. Excuse me. But why stop there? Did you know that you can compost 25% of your food scraps using vegetable and fruit scraps, eggshells, and coffee grounds as fertilizer? Not only will this reduce the amount of waste going to landfills, but it will also create a nutrient-rich soil for your garden. And let's not forget about the benefits of buying second-hand items. Not only will you save money, but you'll also be reducing landfill waste. Last but not the least, let's talk about reusable items. By using containers and water bottles instead of single-use items, you'll be reducing the amount of waste you produce and you'll be saving money in the long run. To sum up everything I've discussed, let's go back to my starting quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. Every day we use resources like energy, water, and soil to live our lives. But sometimes the way we treat these things can be bad for the environment and hurt the plants and animals that live there. We need to make sure that we have enough of these resources for the future so we need to take care of them and use them wisely. As people who live on this planet, it's our job to make sure that we take care of these resources so that we can keep living here for a long time. As we come to the end of this speech, always remember this quote from C.S. Lewis. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending.